everyone. It's David. Sorry for no video today. We're going to be back with video next week. You can disregard the ending of this episode. This is an old, unreleased episode. We did not record one last week. We are back recording this week. Next week, we have an episode on Zombieland. Enjoy the episode.
You guys ever indulge in Tex-Mex at the Dallas airport? Anybody?
No, but I need to.
I need some nachos.
Sea breezes and nachos while your flight gets delayed because of poor weather.
I could use a sea breeze right about now.
You know, I can't even fuck around this much right now because I'm just so antsy to get to the drink portion.
Did you get a sea breezes?
Red Eye is coming up next. No, well, any other time I would have, but you know, I thought about it, and I didn't have the motivation to do it.
Okay.
And I figured,
Never.
I was like, sea breezes take time and energy, and I don't know if I have the grind set right now. So I went ahead and went to my local supermarket, and I got us. Holy shit! I got 5 big bottles of Saratoga still water.
No, oh my god,
This is
the best one.
Funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Do we have a bowl so we can put ice in it?
I was a bring your own bowl.
Oh man. Oh,
I looked like a
this.
fucking madman.
I can't imagine they knew what you were doing. Well, like,
the best
obviously,
thing ever.
you weren't doing that.
I ran-
They must have thought you were, like, trying to get like him.
I ran to Market in the Square after work yesterday, and I spent $16.51 on 5 of these big boys.
Is this because of that dude on TikTok?
That is
yeah.
I didn't know what I was gonna do until like a few days ago, and he started blowing up, and I was like,
Holy
well, that's
shit.
it.
I didn't even think about that.
That is
That's awesome.
This might not really work in an audio format, but
That's
this
the best thing.
fitness
They've done.
influencer Ashton Hall has been dunking his face in big expensive bottles of Saratoga still water, and I bought some for our drink today. I got a little shopping cart because I didn't want to carry all 5 of these, and that was all I had in the cart. And
I made the cart sound rolling across.
I walked out of the store with the stupidest, biggest smile on my face. I was so happy. I was like when you go to self checkout and there's someone there like overseeing everything. She's like, "Have a good day," and I was like, "Yeah, I will."
No, this is the best thing you could have done.
So I don't know if we want cups or just
No, I got it.
straight out the
Yeah.
bottles.
Well, what, 28 ounces?
This is fucking
That's
awesome.
Perfectly
Thank you.
balanced.
Thank you,
Thank
Phil.
you. Thank you.
I don't know if this will make a noise.
It's still water. They had sparkling. And there was a guy in the water aisle when I was buying
This
this.
is crazy.
Perfectly refined.
A little bit of ASMR.
Oh, we gotta
explain.
experience.
We gotta go.
Crank it up, boys.
And I had him in the
We're
passenger
well
seat
hydrated.
when I was driving home.
Hell yeah.
So I'm driving home and they're in my passenger seat, and then I turn and they like go everywhere. They were quite loud.
Smooth.
Wow, that's some great water.
Since 1872. Still water, bro. Gotta be
Made
careful.
in Saratoga Springs, New York.
You gotta be
Refreshing.
careful. It's still water.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, ding,
You know, I thought we would get, in on the meme before it gets too. I mean, it's pretty big already. They were just doing it on the NBA postgame show last night. Kathy Hochul's in on it now, so maybe we're at the tail end, but it's still funny to me.
Since you got us these
Yeah.
bottles of water, I'm gonna have you get in my car and record me sprinting down the street, and then when I'm tired, you're gonna hand me this bottle of water.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna thank you for it.
yeah, it'll be a big bowl
Yeah.
with ice in it,
Yeah, no,
with
that'd be
lemon.
amazing.
You're like, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, honestly, looking at these bottles, bro, we got to go ahead and get at least 10,000.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't even have a segue into
Dude.
Red Eye for this.
there doesn't need to be. This is freaking awesome.
Unless you stole my bottle and started like drinking it after like I wanted one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking out of it. These are like roughly the size of a wine bottle.
Yeah.
And we're just sipping out of them. I thought about getting
It's a nice color.
bringing some
It's a nice
wine glasses, but we're oh dude, I should have like brown paper bags.
Oh, that'd been sick. Would have been a loud pod though.
Can
Or
we-
ideally
Can we all finish one?
I think
We're gonna
It's
be
a lot of water.
pissing for days. 28 fluid. How many urinations do you guys average per day?
Ooh,
I haven't counted.
Quite a bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what the average, but I'd say like
Double digits.
No,
No,
I'd say maybe
I-
6.
Yeah, I would say double. Yeah, I'm
I,
not-
I,
good enough.
when you said quite a bit, I was expecting like 11.
Oh,
I'm,
no.
I'm probably up in like the 8 to
You're in
10
the
range.
upper echelon.
Yeah, I'm in the upper echelon.
pretty low. I'm only like maybe 3 or 4.
I'm hydrated.
I'm maybe like 5, 6.
I'm a hydrated.
Depends
being.
on the day, you know.
A lot of fluids.
Depends on
flowing.
how many.
Sometimes I don't take my first piss of the day until like 3 o'clock.
Depends how many Powerade Zeros deep I am.
Oh, how many deep are you right now? Just one or?
This is actually I had like maybe half of one earlier.
And where's the other half of that now?
Like it was left over
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
from the fridge.
What flavor?
Oh, red.
Oh, okay. Is
Got
that
an 8-pack of red.
Is that your favorite?
My favorite I would say is
Pack of
blue.
Red.
How often do you go to the store to restock Powerade Zeros? How many do you
once a
crush a
week.
day?
I try to get one in a day.
How long has that been going on?
Uh,
Your love affair with Powerade Zero.
Powerade Zero. I honestly don't know. However long you guys been seeing me.
That's pretty.
Well,
good.
that's why I'm asking.
Like I don't know. A few months.
It hasn't been a year yet, you think?
I don't know.
I think
Powerade
you've always
Zero.
had some drink with you. Maybe they weren't just Powerade Zero.
Every Sunday I go to the grocery store. You know.
Is there a specific place you get them from, or does it not?
Oh,
really
it
matter?
doesn't matter, but usually Tops, the big ones, like the bigger, like Gatorade sized regular ones, usually are on sale 5 for $5. So I'll get like 7 of them. Sometimes they're not on sale. They weren't on sale this week, so I got an 8-pack.
So-
An 8-pack of the smaller ones is like $6 maybe.
So if it's 5 for $5, like is it that at that point does it make it a 5 for 2?
It the sale is just like price per. So
Oh,
there's $1 each.
Okay.
No matter. That's just a sale.
Gotcha.
But I did get a big boy pack at BJ's before.
Hell,
Went through that so quick.
I'm sure you did. Well,
You should just start drinking black coffee. All the
I don't like coffee.
Hmm.
Although I had black coffee before and it was terrible.
it's not that great.
Yeah, black coffee's not good.
Do you think it tastes different from other places?
I'm
I'm not
for
a
me,
coffee
yeah, I don't-
drinker.
Coffee.
From what people say, like coffee has a lot of different tastes.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Depends
just
on the
talking mainly
beans.
like just like black
Like
coffee.
black coffee?
Black coffee. Like if you got like a black coffee
Well-
from Tim Hortons or a black coffee from Starbucks, like
I
which
tell
black
you,
coffee would taste
You
better?
might need a strong black coffee if you want to make it through your red eye flight from Dallas, Texas to Miami, Florida.
Well, yeah. If I was taking a flight as such, I would get a strong black coffee.
Or something caffeinated.
Did you guys know that there are other hotels in Miami? There are.
Yeah, but you know, Lisa always helps them at the Lux Atlantic. God, fucking hated them.
The way that dude like had his sweater wrapped around.
That's
his
how you know
neck.
he's a fuck. Where is Lisa? She helps us every time. And then it's like, if there's anything we can do to help make your stay more enjoyable,
So,
we won't.
but that mall cop lady, whatever her name was she in charge of the hotel while Lisa was gone? Because she didn't seem like she knew what she was doing.
I think she was just a
Front
receptionist.
But did she have anyone else to like talk to? Why did she just get the manager on duty?
Because Lisa's the big dog. You know, and those that disgruntled couple in the beginning, you know, they were like, call Lisa.
They needed Lisa specifically.
They needed Lisa's expertise. We just got right into Red Eye talk. I find this movie underrated. I
It's
like it
very
a
good.
lot.
A
Mhm.
great
know?
in and out movie.
Yeah.
Billy and Jack, you two hadn't seen it. I know Pat and
No.
David had.
Yep.
So
Correct.
you guys just watched this. What'd you think?
Billy, go ahead. What'd you think?
I really liked it. I didn't I didn't have any idea what it was coming into it. And when they started us off with a douche hotel couple,
Yeah.
I was
High
like, I don't
maintenance.
know where this is going, but especially after like the fish, the transportation
Oh,
opening,
yeah.
I was really
Yeah, it
excited
starts
to
like
see
that.
how things progressed.
Turns into a political assassination.
Yeah.
You know?
I
Charles
love it.
Keefe.
I love it.
Jack, you're a Wes Craven guy.
Yeah,
This is
and I did
a Wes
feel
Craven film.
the Cravenness of this film. And like Billy said, you know, I didn't really know where it was going from the beginning either. You know, I
Mhm.
was these guys unpacking this thing, and then it switched to the hotel, and I was like, I don't know where this is going. But yeah, I really liked how it was just like a quick in and out.
That's
wacky.
maybe my favorite thing about
Yeah.
it.
So I
Action-packed.
paused it right at the end of the movie. It ran an hour, 16 minutes, and 48 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Short.
That's quick.
It's like so.
That is a
so
quick
quick.
movie.
Yeah.
And
It's
and,
like 125 with credits.
and for how much like goes on, it's like it's crazy.
You could watch it on a flight in like 9 out of 10 flights, you'd still have some time left.
Yeah, you could probably watch it
But
twice.
it covers the whole night.
Probably watch it twice in one flight.
Yeah.
Covers the absolute flight from hell.
Probably watch it twice in one flight.
Yes. Yes, certainly. Yeah, I really like this movie. For exactly what you guys have just said. I just think it's a tight, compact little thriller in the air. Just one location mostly. Save for the finale, but most of the movie you're just in the skybox. And Jackson Rittner, played by Cillian Murphy, is really just Scott Lisa, played by Rachel McAdams, just by the throat. Like, what's she to do in this situation? We murking the Keefe family, by blowing up their suite, or is Logan Roy Brian Cox, aka Mr. Lisa? I don't recall what their surname was. Is he gonna get murked while eating leftover lasagna watching the comedy marathon?
Like, what are you guys doing in this situation? Are you just making the call? Are you not making the call? Or are you doing something like her and trying to make a plan?
I think the strategy of going to the bathroom and writing 18F has bomb in soap on the mirror would have worked had he not been right there. Because if you go to the John on an aircraft and you see that written, that's cause for concern.
Yeah, but what are you doing?
But your dad's getting killed still.
He doesn't have to know that.
Well, you're also putting somebody else in.
Well, because the plan is, someone else is going to see that and be like, someone's got a fucking bomb on this plane.
Yeah, well, you're also putting somebody else in the situation too. It's kind of like if I walked into a bathroom and I saw that written on the mirror. I don't know how I would react. I'd obviously like tell somebody, but I'd be like,
an anonymous tip.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe they were waiting for one of the stewardesses to go in there and be like, "Oh, I see."
Mm-hmm.
What was their plan with the bomb thing?
They'd have to emergency land, and
but she's still not making the call, and her dad's getting
killed.
killed.
But then I think she was hoping he'd be reprimanded before anything happened.
I mean, there's not really security to get out.
All up
trying things.
Jackson's shit. I don't think if you do an emergency landing due to a bomb threat, I don't think the accused bomber is really getting off the plane happy. I think they'll be all up his ass.
Yeah.
and in that situation, do you even tell people that you have a? Do you even tell people you're doing an emergency landing, or do you just like kind of do it?
No, I think you have to tell them because you're going down. Like if you're the pilot,
Yeah.
I think you have to tell the cabin that.
But wouldn't that probably
cause chaos?
Wouldn't that cause chaos? Yeah. Even if he did have a bomb, wouldn't it still like influence him to just pull the trigger? I don't know. I guess anything could happen.
Inside the mind of a terrorist.
Kind of like.
But really, he's just a guy with a job to do. He didn't have any personal beef with Keith. He said he's like, you have a job to do, I have a job to do. We're in the business of people pleasing. He's got to make his bosses happy. She has to make her clients happy. At what lengths will we go to please the people in our lives? What's the furthest you'll go to make your boss happy?
I mean, I wouldn't commit murder.
Cillian's probably just scared.
Yeah, he's like, they're gonna have my ass if I miss this.
Do it. Yeah, he has to do it.
Does stuff like that even happen anymore?
What?
Like
terrorism?
Like these type of jobs?
Hitmen?
Yeah, I guess. Or people.
I'm not really involved in the world of crime. I don't know.
But he's not like whatever Cillian's job is. He's not a hitman. He's like
this.
He's the doer.
Yeah.
You're asking, does this happen anymore? Did it ever truly happen?
I feel like that was in movies all the time, but you don't see that anymore.
I feel like there's
Like, where'd it go?
There's been stuff like this that has happened. I'm sure.
Like, what?
Like, I'm sure there's been stuff like this that
It
happened.
probably doesn't ever go very well.
Well,
People
now
try
that the
to do it.
JFK files have been released, maybe we have to, dive through
Mhm.
those and see what was going on there.
No, I can't.
What kind of strings were pulled by the U.S. government?
I highly doubt his job is like a real profession.
No.
And I also feel like it's slightly unrealistic for like
Slightly.
everything in this situation to go the way that it went.
Yeah. for
It's
sure,
it's
yeah.
incredible.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I don't really have too much preamble.
I did give this movie a plus
Why?
for the hidden cargo in the fresh fish.
Yeah.
That's how there's some, anything being delivered via fish, aka Howard's Opal and Uncut Gems, means you're in for a good time.
Hidden cargo, like, so
Sick.
cool.
Bring it
That's
back.
awesome.
And the the bazooka
Oh,
Mhm.
underneath.
we're
the boat.
we're getting to the bazooka. I
That gets
have
a
that.
plus.
That's my favorite thing about this fucking movie. Yeah, I don't really have too much preamble. Just directed by Wes Craven, stars Rachel McAdams, Cillian Murphy, got Brian Cox in there of Succession fame. It was released it's the 20th anniversary this year. It was released August 19th, 2005, same day as the 40-Year-Old Virgin. So you can see,
Wow.
you can go see, terrorism on a plane, or you can go see Steve Carell, be a 40-year-old virgin. You could have a double feature, the 40-year-old red eye. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. I really couldn't find much on the production of this movie. Really, all I have is Wes Craven said Rachel McAdams was his only actress that he considered for the role of Lisa, and that Cillian Murphy was excited of the idea of working with him and flew out for a meeting 2 days before his wedding.
That's crazy.
Had to meet with the big dog.
Mm-hmm. Had to get the job done.
He really wanted to be Jackson Rittner.
Mhm.
This was also a pretty big year for. All right, we can edit this out. What's going on?
No, we're good. It's fine.
What's happening?
Nothing. It's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're
No,
rolling.
it's recording. Yeah. Mhm.
Do you guys think there's ever been a marriage on a plane?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know that there has
I'm
been?
sure there
A
is.
marriage on a
Absolutely.
plane.
A marriage.
I bet there's been a marriage.
And more than
Like,
once.
everywhere.
More than a few times.
Yes.
Like somebody
Yeah.
like getting down on one knee and opening the ring box on
Like
the
a
plane.
No, not a
Proposal or-
proposal.
oh,
an actual
wedding.
marriage. Like a ceremony in the sky.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been like
Ooh, that's got a nice ring to it. Ceremony in the sky.
Possibly like
Yeah,
possibly
Give me a movie.
pre-Hindenburg, like during the blimp days.
Let's make that movie.
Or
so
even
you can
people
actually
made
like
out
walk
of-
around.
even just in a private jet. I'm sure there's been some sort of ceremony. Yeah, like maybe like someone
I
who's
bet
like
there's been like one everywhere you can imagine.
or what'll even put this to rest? Like a skydiving marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh,
we're
like
getting
in
married.
the air,
free
free
yeah.
falling,
Yeah,
getting married.
getting married.
You think that?
I don't know if that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that could work though. I feel like you'd have to get married on like the cargo plane, and then like when they say like you may kiss the bride, then you jump because you can't have the officiator jumping to and trying to read
That'd be
everything.
sweet.
Unless he's skydiving with you.
That'd be.
Yeah,
cool.
but I just don't know if that would. If
Like
that
they're
would
all
work.
holding
hands.
hands together. Yeah,
Yeah, but how does he hold the?
Yeah, how is he supposed to read?
he has like a almost like a teleprompter on his a pair of glasses
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
Little HUD.
Someone's like scrolling the prompt on the.
I feel like the more practical way is like as soon as like it's really getting down to business, they open up the hatch and then
But even then, the marriage like still happened on the plane, and then they jumped. So yeah,
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just didn't know about the chances of a
In the
free
sky,
falling
yeah.
ceremony because you've only got so much time before.
what are we talking about?
Not red eye. Certainly not Wes Craven's red eye.
Talking about the sky.
Explosions.
Where
in the sky.
most of this movie takes place.
Yeah.
In the sky.
In the
In a
sky.
little
sky.
box in the sky.
Mhm.
Movie? Quite claustrophobic.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Invasion of privacy.
Like that would be like the one of the worst places for this situation.
Yeah,
to happen.
Yeah,
You
plane.
can't go anywhere. You can't escape.
That might I say that's what makes it such a good little thriller.
Mhm.
That's why she's in such a pickle.
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
Pun intended. Pickle plane.
Cillian.
No, I can't see the connection. I didn't mean any connection there.
I don't know what I'm saying.
This was a pretty
Sorry.
big summer for both of these actors. They were both in pretty big movies before this. This is in June of 05, Cillian Murphy was Scarecrow in Batman Begins.
Mhm.
And in July of 05, Rachel McAdams was in Wedding Crashers. August 05, they come together. I just thought that was pretty neat, you know?
Cillian does have like a creepy face too. I don't know. I just
He's got that 1,000-yard stare that he
Yeah.
does to excellence in Oppenheimer. But
Mhm.
yeah, like
He's believable that he could be a psychopath.
he's a man who, if you really just let him, he looks like he's seen some shit, you
Yeah.
know?
But he does a fantastic job of being a charming gentleman.
He does.
He
Yeah.
does. Very good job.
He's got riz.
You know, if you ask me, I'd sit down with him at the Tex-Mex bar that I would play the nachos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he
Does-
saved me a seat.
Does he have Riz, or is it just the stalking that has given him all the information?
That's true.
Wow. Well, I don't know.
Well,
It's
you
not
know,
natural Riz. It's pre-planned Riz.
Mhm.
yeah. Bro, practice it in the mirror.
Guess I gotta give him credit first.
I doubt he practiced it. I'm willing to give him that he probably was given the information and was like, I'll work with this.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's got
He's
that.
skilled like
Yeah,
that.
you gotta, you know, be a natural charmer to be like that, you know?
Mhm.
To make her fall into your trap, if you will. Because if it was too robotic, then, you know, it's like, I hear you like sea breezes.
But so yeah, so a
The
lot
way
of
he
it
was just like,
was still
like he got a
natural.
couple wrong.
It was smooth.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, so it was still natural. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it seemed like, you know, real flirty.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever go to an airport bar or restaurant or anything? You got to kill time during a layover or delay?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like in the morning, if you're catching an early flight and you're like, kind of hungry, you know, you got to stop somewhere and sit down for a moment. You still have a little bit of time before the flight. Get like
Yeah.
a nice little breakfast sandwich or something.
You ever like sit down? So like
Yeah.
the Buffalo Niagara Airport has like an anchor bar.
Yeah, I haven't been to like an actual like restaurant, but I've been to like one of those like just food places that have like a few tables around it. That yeah.
I've always wondered like what's it like if you're like I'm a dishwasher at the airport anchor bar. Like how do you get that job? Really? Like I work in the airport Chili's in Orlando.
I guess
You-
live right there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You got to be like 2 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
You're just
I
like,
guess. Like I get, you know, like TSA work and everything, so it's not that working at the airport, but it's the stuff inside the airport.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I'm the head chef at Orlando Chili's.
yeah. I don't know.
I'd love to get someone down here that works in that field to talk. You know,
If you work at just a store in the airport, you got to go through like TSA every time.
Probably
You
not
think?
though.
probably not the full extent.
They probably have like a badge, and then they probably walk through the metal thing. That's it.
Yeah, because you
See,
got to
this
think
is-
like they're not bringing suitcases through. They're just bringing.
Like if you're a bad guy, like that would be smart to get a job at the airport.
Yeah,
so you got
that just takes a
get
lot of
through.
planning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to spend like at least like a month like building credibility and just working at a convenience store in the airport. You know,
Do you think there's
you
any
could
like
be doing something dastardly.
if I'm getting hired at like the airport Chick-fil-A, do I have to like prove that I? Yeah, I guess you have to prove that you live in the area because you got to show ID and whatever, you know, or at least that you like live. Because if I lived in like
Or like,
Connecticut and I was getting a job at the Buffalo airport, then it'd be a little suspect.
Yeah.
or like, how do you end up working at like a rest stop in the middle of nowhere?
That's also once again, you got to just live in the area probably.
That's
But also, they're like you're off the highway, so there's no one really in that area. It's like in between areas. 'Cause
Yeah.
you could be like, I'm going from Buffalo to Albany, and there's just fucking highways.
There's so
And you're
many
just like, yeah,
jobs.
I'm applying to work as a, I'm the manager of the Burger King and rest stop number 335,
Yeah.
or like a janitor there.
That well, if I was actually just thinking this in my head. If like you're a janitor there, you probably make a few stops at different rest stops. So like you got to kind of like travel a bit. You know what I mean? Like you travel with all this equipment. Like you probably work for a company that goes out and
Oh,
gives
like
a
you
van.
think these rest stops has like its own sanitation department instead of each place hiring one guy?
Yeah,
Probably.
that would
yeah.
that would make sense.
Or whoever owns the rest stop hires people to clean it.
If that's not true, this is the business we're going into. This rest stop sanity. We're gonna have a big van, and we're gonna be calling the plays, and we'll have all the angles, and we'll see if someone's like shit on the floor, and then like get people off the bench, like have them like you're a go.
Yeah, and we'll
That'd be
start
so
putting up.
sick.
We'll start putting up flyers at each rest stop for hire janitor cleaning company. Call us.
I'm sure that's a pretty
Get a
good.
big truck.
We might have to go to
Got a
Mark and
business right
Mr.
there.
Wonderful and the boys pitch this on Shark Tank.
What do you think we would charge to clean an entire rest stop area? Like,
Well, it depends on the size. I haven't been in one of those in so long. I don't know the square footage.
yeah,
It's been a while since I measured
I don't know.
Gilbride style.
I don't know. Just your average rest stop. What do you think people charge? Like, do in-depth cleaning.
Well, because then you also got like, would this include like the restaurants in there, or just like the general air, like the lobby bathrooms? Yeah, because each like the Shake Shack probably has its own.
Yeah, I'm just talking like the simple like rest stop. Like you have like that main area, and then just two bathrooms, and then maybe like
Like a food court.
no, not that big.
Oh, a
No.
tiny little one.
Yeah, like a tiny one, and like you have like your average like flyers, like room and stuff. Like maybe like a gift shop, like a small gift shop. Like for if you're in like
Gift shop, convenience store.
if you're in Alabama, that's where you get kind of like a souvenir or something like that.
Yeah, it's like thank God I'm a country boy bumper sticker or something.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like I
Little
don't know.
Tide shit.
If we were doing like in-depth cleaning, I'd probably say over like $1,000 maybe. No,
Yeah.
maybe probably
5,000.
5,000.
One for each of us.
We'll figure out well then we got to pay our staff.
We're gonna
The
do-
van's gonna be pricey.
And you have to pay for gasoline,
We have
pay for
staff.
equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, why are we the staff?
Are
There's
we the
5 of us.
staff?
Wait, what?
There's 5 of us. Why aren't we the staff?
We're the shot callers.
Yeah, but then again,
We don't want to clean. You're saying?
if it's a private business, we
I'm
got
the
the
head coach.
equipment.
We
I
charge
call plays.
$1,000 and we pay someone $200.
No,
to do it.
so here's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking is I think we can.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Just we charge $1,000 for us to clean it, then we pay someone $200 to do the work for us.
Yo,
We'll make $800.
is that illegal?
Here's all right. So I'm
That's
thinking.
how things work.
I'm thinking we
Like
can.
businesses.
Well, I'm thinking we can go around each, just like try to like recruit. Like think of us as like a college, and we go to local high schools and scout talent. So we go to each
Scout
like
the
Burger.
janitors.
We go to like Burger King and when just wherever. Try to get the best guys. We get like our binoculars, really look at our, their skills, getting in between like the tables and everything.
Crevices.
Yeah, we have like a contract signing and try to build our team, and then we get like a depends on how many rest stops there are, but say we get like a 10-man crew. Might be a bit excessive, but
2 vans, 10 men.
yeah, and then we can just have
No,
like
one man.
yeah. So we're
One
just
van. Well, no, you got to multitask. More money flowing.
No, but
yeah,
one man.
different areas. You got to expand.
Imagine all of us getting out. All the equipment.
Well,
there.
for all of us, we'd have one van and then get the other 5.
Yeah, we're watching from an undisclosed location, just like with
Yeah.
radio. Just like, all right, Jim, you're going to the Wendy's. And
and then all profits
We're-
are going
we're-
into one offshore bank account.
we're up there in the booth, like covering our mouth like on the place. Yeah, and I'm thinking we can have just like a bunch of like rogue agents that we've stolen from other facilities, and then we're on top of the sanitation.
Mhm.
Or we could be like our own agents. Like we get like newspaper, sunglasses, really big coats with big collars and hats, and then we could sit outside like Chick-fil-A reading the newspaper, like observing inside about who's cleaning the dining room, and then we can either recruit them, and if it's a bust, and we get out.
I'm thinking I'm going into each location full like college recruiter. I'm gonna have like
The
our
polo.
logo on like a vest and like a clipboard, shaking hands.
Yeah.
I was just watching you from the back there. Man, you got real technique.
Yeah, real technique mopping these floors.
We'd love to sit down with you and your mom. Just see what's up.
And then at the signing, you have 3 different hats of each cleaning company, and then they're like hovering over the hats, and then they like pick one.
Session day.
Yeah, and then they obviously put the hat on, and it's pictures with all.
Yeah,
with
pictures
the
of us
clean-
shaking hands.
Yeah. We should actually do this.
I'm gonna take my talents to nice guy sanitation.
Nice guy sanitation, perfect.
We gotta go to these rest stops though and trash them, so our business is
No.
it's a hot commodity.
Start pooping over the floors.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I won't reach those until we're desperate. I'm thinking we start the honest way, and then things get the first couple of years. This is my long-term plan. Are gonna be super classy. We're on top of the world. Then cocaine and silencers are gonna start getting traded around. Rolling like it's like going from it's like how Goodfellas goes from like the classy 50s to like the Rolling Stones and everything in the 70s and 80s. You know, it's gonna be like, you know, what happened.
But only this
That's how all
time.
great movies work.
But only this time we're not doing it with cocaine and drugs. We're doing it with like cleaning equipment,
Like mops and brooms.
mops, and the way we're getting it around is by big storage containers filled with ice and fish.
Yeah.
Oh,
The brooms are
no,
underneath.
I was gonna say Wes Craven somewhere turning in his grave.
Yeah.
Like, this is how my films are being analyzed.
Sorry.
I don't even know how we got there.
Oh, we want to get into categories?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
that was. I'm looking at my notes. I have no idea how we got
I don't
there.
know, but it was awesome.
we were talking about rest stops.
Dude, I cut my finger on this bottle.
Oh man,
The lid,
the
cap.
my little finger. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know.
It gets all big. That's from Grandma's Kisses, but not the edited version. That's from the raw tapes. That's from the original. All right.
When it bites.
I keep thinking I'm done, and then I think about it again, and it starts back. And I'm looking across from you, and you're fucking dying. Like, do you guys know what the hell we're talking about?
Nope.
No.
Not up.
Yeah,
No,
no, I'm sure I
no.
knew, but no.
I knew Jack would get that one.
My back hurts from laughing so hard.
All right, best scene. I have the initial meeting at the airport bar. You know, if you don't know anything about this movie and you're just like flipping channels the old-fashioned way, and you stop here and you're like, oh wow, what's, you know,
This young couple.
you know, sparks flying. You know, it's
Billy,
not quite electric.
That's
But
why I told you to like go into this movie blind, so like you would think, oh, maybe this is like some little like, romance.
That's what
going
I
on, you know?
thought. I was like, wow, look at Cillian Murphy and his his
Mhm.
gorgeous blue
his
eyes.
stark blue eyes.
That's
yeah.
what I thought too.
Yeah,
His eyes are blue.
Yeah.
I think, especially when they're at that bar,
Mm.
even though he had like prior knowledge, that was Riz.
And
Mm.
she goes to him at the bar.
Yeah,
So it seems natural, like, oh,
His
she's
aura.
approaching him.
Yeah, you know, they're
He
on the
can't be
same
this bad
flight.
guy.
They've got time to kill. There are assholes all around the airport, you know, dumping mochas and berating staff, you know.
And for reference, his eyes are almost as blue as the Saratoga Stillwater.
They're quite blue. They're a little lighter, but yeah, they're both blue.
Very.
Almost as blue as Marty Wolf.
And he's looking pretty sharp, too.
He's looking good.
The blazer, yeah.
He's looking good.
And you know, he steps up, you know, taking down that asshole in line who's like, this is ridiculous. This airline sucks. You know?
Airport douchebag.
He's coming up.
Airport.
Airport fuck ass.
Next, I've got on the plane when, you know, things take a turn and it is revealed that Jackson is like basically a middleman for political assassins. You know, real switch up, you know. Because, you know, he's distracting her while the plane hits turbulence because, you know, seems like she's afraid to fly. And he's like, so what does your dad do? You know? And then she asks what he does. You know, he's not, it reminded me
She
of,
thinks he's joking.
reminded
but
me of
he is
an
not
American
joking.
Psycho
Yeah.
with murders and executions mostly. I got that.
So, with this plane scene, nobody around them hears their conversation
And
at all.
that just goes back to what we were saying earlier.
That's-
It's extremely unrealistic.
Yeah, that's movies. Yeah. But also, you know, on planes,
Yeah, when he headbutts her, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No one.
on
He's got no
planes,
way.
everyone's in their own world, you know?
that is true, yeah.
Listening to podcasts, reading books, watching movies, having their own yap sessions.
Yeah.
Yapping.
However, I will say if famous Hollywood actors Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams were sitting behind me, I would, you know, would I be listening? No, that's none of my business.
I would be.
I feel like that's fucking Oppenheimer and Regina George.
Hey, guys, can I just... Yes, that's the question.
Are you in 28 years later? Is that you?
Is that you?
Next, I have a lot of the stuff on the plane all kind of blends in together because the location doesn't change.
Yeah,
But
right, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I managed to fight through that. I've got when that that blonde woman comes up again to ask for help with her suitcase, and then Lisa's writing in the Dr. Phil book. You know, it's just like, ooh, what's gonna happen? And you know, this lady, man, like, you already bothered poor Jackson Ripner twice. He's got a job to do. There are, I'm sure, hundreds of other men on this plane, maybe not hundreds, but you know, there's other men, gentlemen on this plane that can assist you with your bag. You know,
It was never revealed what she wrote, right?
it's probably 18F has bomb.
Yeah, probably something like that.
What ended up happening to the book?
He took it while she was sleeping.
Yeah, and then
But he just took it.
so he had it the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
From
she
there.
wrote that.
He wanted to seek Dr. Phil McGraw's advice. You know.
Yeah.
I've got the bathroom where, you know, she opens the door and he's right there. And then everyone thinks they're, you know, joining the Mile High Club. Excuse me.
Trash.
This isn't a motel. Dude, the way he handled it, just fucking like pretzel bags.
And then what did he do after she said that? Did he like wink or something? What did he do?
I think he just had a real
He goes,
charm.
Oh no,
Sure.
he winks. He does wink and says sure. Because I have that,
this
in
isn't a motel.
best moments when
Oh,
he winks and says sure.
Sure.
I've got
That's awesome.
when the plane lands, he claps,
Yeah.
you know, and then gets stabbed in the throat with a Frankenstein pen. I've got just that whole, you know, getting off the plane.
Why was there no blood when he got stabbed? He takes the pen out and there's like no blood gushing from his throat.
Probably didn't go that deep. I don't know. Frankenstein pen not that sharp? Question mark.
Frankenstein.
Cool pen though.
I want it.
That's where his pen went.
And
The
then
dude's pen.
Yeah.
And then I've got just like the finale in the house, which, you know, strains a little bit of credibility, but, you know, fuck it, we ball. I noticed while watching this that, and this is going to sound really dorky, that I'm just like comparing Craven to Craven. Like, oh, of course, this is like this. But between this and Scream, I've noticed that a lot of Wes Craven antagonists get their shit rocked while chasing people through huge suburban houses.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like some of the ways that like Jackson's falling over and like getting like it reminded me of Ghostface, how in Scream he's like getting bottles thrown. He was, you know,
Or he went over the couch and something he got like thrown or something.
Yeah. What do you guys have
like that? Like it seems like he's just a normal human that can get beat up.
Yeah, like he doesn't have like some superpower.
Yeah.
And just he can take a hit.
Not overpowered.
What do you guys? Did I miss anything for best scene? You guys have anything else?
Yeah, I'm going with he reveals.
Do you have any other scenes I
no.
didn't mention?
That's
anymore?
what I'm going with.
No, I'm going with that too.
You could mention. I guess you could throw the bazooka scene in there. I guess.
I kind of have that in the whole like escaping part
Yeah.
because it's cutting. In
Yeah, I
between.
guess you could add that just to the escape scene.
That's what I have that in my notes. I actually don't know what I'm gonna go with. I guess the reveal that sets the movie in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're all going with? All five?
I want reveal.
I like the escape scene the most.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So four reveal, one escape.
Yeah.
So what?
Like the chase through the airport and everything.
Why doesn't she get like an airport cop? Why is she like get in a car, like steal a car and go to her house? Why not call the cops and be like, hey, there's this
They're all
dude at my dad's house.
They were all too distracted.
Go to
rushing
dad's house direct.
12F or whatever. The game
Who knows
is.
what the Miami PD at this time is being ruled by Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They're probably they've got their own issues to worry about.
Oh, wasn't the phone battery low? Is that what you're saying? Like she
No,
could.
like,
No,
why
but he's
didn't
saying
she
why didn't she?
alert authorities at the airport?
Yeah,
that this
everyone's
dude
in
is
the
literally
terminal.
chasing me.
Everyone's rushing to the terminal. They have time for all that.
Best quote.
Little do they know.
I have the Frankenstein pen boy asking Kyle Gallner, "Did you steal my pen, jackass?" That's his emotional support. You know, he only feels safe flying with his Franken pen, and you know, it's lost. Did anyone else have anything?
No, I didn't really pick one specific one out. I think Cillian is his performance in this. Like every delivery he has is awesome. So
Got a
just
good
like
voice.
just him, yeah, right.
I have a few quotes. Yeah.
Okay, what do you got?
I had when an airport douche is walking on the plane. She's like, "Thank you for your patience, sir." He's like, "Yeah, right." And then obviously, yeah, all of Cillian's lines. The delivery is great, but one stood out. He's like, Well, 2 actually. He said, Lisa asks, she goes, "What happens if they don't start working?" And he goes, "Then you bury your dad in a closed casket."
That was cold.
Mhm.
That was cold. And then one more, another Rip Nerd. He goes, "Once we're at the gate, I'll follow you to the terminal. We'll hit Starbucks, grab a couple of lattes, kill 10-15 minutes till I get that call that keeps been taken out."
It'd be cool if they did that.
Yeah, killed 10-15 over
You know,
a couple lattes.
What would they talk about after all that?
Right.
Right.
I got one that I'm gonna save for 6-man because it will spoil it. But
Well, let's just do 6-man right now.
I
What do you
liked
got?
there was one that I feel like this line might have went under the radar when he's like revealed that he was following her for weeks and he's never seen her order anything other than a sea breeze.
Yeah, I had that
yeah.
one.
Mhm.
And then she doesn't order a sea breeze.
Well, yeah, she says. I think she says why she didn't, because she like. I feel
Wait,
like-
but then who's your 6-man?
no, he was just that was his quote.
No, that's
that
another
was his
quote.
quote. 'Cause
Oh.
he had a quote, then his other quote was a 6-man.
Oh,
But no, I remember like there was something she said. No, I don't know, because I remember when they're in the bathroom, he says I've been following you. I know you ordered the secret. No, I feel like she said why she switched. Maybe I'm wrong.
Probably because she was like, I don't know.
well, who's your 6-man?
My 6-man.
I think I know who it is,
Oh, who you?
and it's probably mine. Oh, if it's the same guy I'm thinking of.
My 6-man is Larry.
Who's that?
Larry. You guys know who Larry is?
We need another mocha?
Yes, it is. Larry is the husband
Yeah.
of the girl who spills the
Yeah,
coffee.
that's who
do
it
we
is.
see
I
him,
didn't know
though?
his name.
So the quote, she says, "Could you run back to Starbucks? I need another mocha." Larry.
Yeah, but
Oh.
do we ever see Larry?
No, but Larry says, "Didn't you get one already?" You can hear him off screen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, it probably shows them at some point because there is a lot of background characters. And
Yeah, but we wouldn't know.
We wouldn't have known, yeah.
I
No,
have
that's
I-
what it is.
I'll
I
go
didn't.
with
I didn't
Larry.
pick up on Larry. I didn't hear that.
I have 2 nominees, and I know who my winner is. The douchebag in line.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Just
Great one.
that's like catnip to me. But I also have right in the beginning the taxi driver who's yelling at traffic when she takes the call.
Mhm.
You know, he's kind of just like ah. You know, I love little guys like that. But yeah, I'm going with the airport asshole
Yeah.
berating the staff. Anyone else got
He's
anything?
my second place, but no, I'm going
You're going Larry.
Larry. Yeah.
I have one, and this is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
Beginning of the movie,
That's why this
Right.
why this
Mhm.
exists.
guy with the cowboy hat that held the door for Lisa walking into the airport at the beginning of the movie.
Nice.
I know who
Hell
you're talking
yeah.
about.
You do? I'm
Yeah.
going with airport.
I noticed him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Airport douche.
Airport douche.
Airport dude. What about you, Billy?
Airport douche.
Okay.
Oh, and
Hell
for
yeah.
This
for the
airline
Larry
It's too
line,
easy to hate him.
I had to rewind it like 5 times to make out what he's saying because you can barely hear it.
I heard him.
You rewind it.
Just hear what he's exactly what he was saying.
So we got
Larry. I feel so bad for Larry. You know his.
She
place,
also
like,
said it
insufferable.
was a cold drink, but it was literally a mocha.
I
so
know.
It
a
wasn't
cold mocha, frozen hot
Mocha.
chocolate. I don't know.
a Fromo. Do they have those?
I don't know, Jim.
Froca. Frozen mocha.
Best shot. I have the rack focus shot of Lisa going to the bathroom door, and then it focuses on Jackson with his hands in his pocket.
Middle of the
blocking.
aisle.
Yeah, that was mine. Does
Um,
anyone have anything?
Probably just go the headbutt.
That's a great moment.
Yeah, I guess that's moment. One shot,
The pillow pose.
but still, I'll take
I
the
forgot
head on head action. Pause the frame. That's a shot I'll take.
Okay.
And she headbutts him later on in the movie too. Like,
Yeah.
headbutt it. That's got to be the worst.
Chekhov's
move ever.
headbutt.
Mm-hmm.
I have one other than the or 2 other than the aisle
Mhm.
shot of her walking in the bathroom. The shot of the BMW logo outside the house. I thought that was just like hard. And then
That's the car guy in you.
yeah, and then him watching her move further away from the window as she's leaving in the train. Just him and just him
Oh
in the
yeah, that
window.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Like as she gets on the train and the door closes. At the
Oh,
last
yeah,
second,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
swing
yeah.
away.
Each other.
She's standing at the back of the train in the window, and he's in the
Mhm.
he's
He
still in
looks
the
very
airport.
menacing there.
Yeah,
All right, best moment. This is. I didn't write down any other ones. There were a couple other ones that I thought were good, but nothing will ever top for me in this movie. I've always loved the immediate discarding of the bazooka By the
Yeah.
beginning of the
I'll
yacht.
take that too.
It's
Yeah.
so fucking.
Isn't
funny
that
to
what
me.
started the
Possible?
getaway guys scot free?
I don't know what started. It might have
I
been
know
how
it-
it might have been how it blew up a pipeline. That was before. That was before I saw this movie for the first time.
No, I gotta go that too though.
Yeah, it's they blow up like they're immediately just like,
Mhm.
and then they throw it in the water and they're out.
Wow.
I think it's hilarious.
Mhm.
I have a few good best moments.
Okay, the headbutt's really good too.
When the airport douchebag sits down and I think it's the blonde lady.
What?
She's just looking at me and goes, "What?" And then when he throws her dad's wallet on the table,
Jr. Jim Ross.
and then obviously the headbutt. I have this.
headbutted her.
He's
gonna burn in
Hell.
I have
Hell.
this is really funny how I have it in my notes, but just the headbutt bring headbutting back,
Headbutting.
It's a no-win situation.
Yeah.
and then when the doctor was the airport douchebag,
Yeah, good reveal.
and then just the last one when they open the briefcase and it's just a bazooka.
Yeah, that they immediately just throw in the water after firing and then
Yeah.
they're off.
Oh, yeah.
No one would ever suspect.
No.
Like, what bazooka? Do you think?
Moment that wasn't said. Cillian sitting at the bar, get served nachos.
Yeah. Nachos
Great.
are great. Yeah.
No, full
Shout
plate
out
of
This
to
nachos.
category doesn't make any sense now. It's just he had nachos, which I like. It's funny. Do you guys think there's a sub-zero chance, or above zero, I suppose? Do you think the bazooka that was thrown by the goons in this movie in the water ever made it to the depths of the ocean and touched Osama bin Laden's corpse?
Kind of and re-resurrected him.
I don't know about that, but I'm not here to say that maybe SEAL Team 6 buried him in Miami, Florida.
Did they dump Osama in the Atlantic, or
I
was it the other one?
oh shit, I don't know. I didn't think about that.
Did they dump him or did they like cremate him?
No, they dumped him.
Yeah,
He was
I'm
famously
pretty sure he was dumped.
famously buried out to sea. Probably
Was
like
buried at sea in the North Arabian Sea.
Mm.
So that
Well,
that
maybe
disqualifies that theory.
Yeah.
No, I just thought we talk it out.
Maybe in a couple,
Lifetimes,
millennia,
they'll
they'll
meet
it can
make
find
its
its
way.
way to
Yeah.
Osama's corpse.
Like
Mhm. Somehow, some way.
the absolute stunned silence I received when asking that question.
How we react to
I would have never.
That is how you react.
Right,
That's-
exactly. Yeah.
I would have never thought to ask that.
Yeah.
When I associate things getting buried at sea,
Yeah.
You think of
I
Osama?
think of Osama.
You think of
Yeah.
Bin Laden?
I mean-
Billy, did you have any best moments? Any good moments?
Oh yeah, I had a few. I had the bazooka dumping.
Yeah.
Uh,
There it
Bazooka
is.
dump.
There
Oh,
was
what?
That's also what happens when you swallow bazooka chewing gum. You eventually must pass it, so you can call that
Yeah.
also a bazooka.
a
Dump.
bazooka
Or
dumping.
when you're taking a dump in a hotel and a bazooka missile hits the window.
Oh,
Yeah, what if one of his like Secret Service guys was in the bathroom and they're like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of
Taking
here
a
now."
dump, and then I'd consider that a bazooka dump.
That's a
Would you?
That's a I'd say that's getting bazooka dumped.
Yeah.
That's
Or
like
same thing.
you're in the act of dumping and you get
You
blown
get
to pieces of
bazooka.
gum.
throwing
Bazooka.
you want to throw your bazooka out, goes in the trash. They take that to the dump.
Yeah.
Bazooka's in the dump.
Although, do you really think nobody like died in the process of that? Like,
They escaped the suite.
it's crazy.
In the
Supposedly.
hotel,
So like nobody got hurt.
someone would have died for sure.
Well, many people would have died.
Yeah.
Many people. Many.
Many.
Well, we can acquire a bazooka.
And test it out. Maybe we'll just go back here for a moment. And, we are at timestamp 40.
I was gonna say like shoot it in an open field, see how big the blast radius is.
I'm just gonna write down
So-
4850 for.
No, we're keeping that in.
Sort of like
Would you guys do it?
like go like way out into the desert, like Los Alamos and the atomic bomb when they were testing it out before they dropped it in Japan, and just see like how far, how big, and get really far away.
Or we'll build a replica hotel.
You like some MythBusters shit.
Yeah, Mythbusters. Exactly.
Yeah. See, we're not threats.
Yeah, we'll realize we'll note down how many floors were destroyed in the process of this bazooka scene.
Wall damage.
Well, yeah, Yeah, the infrastructure of the
Plumbing.
actual, plumbing.
There's probably pipes all over.
And then we'll have to recreate the actual room that they were in too, just to get a basic idea.
With the sign and everything too, like the Lux Atlantic.
Yeah, there was a few like corner shots of that, like when they were scanning the room and everything.
Props to the bazooka shooter.
Yeah.
Very good shot.
No, it was.
I'm sure they're not just.
It was a lock on.
Either way, I'm sure they're not just hiring anyone.
Right. Well, props to the manufacturer of the bazooka for adding that.
Well-oiled.
It
machine.
survived in the depths of the ocean.
Yeah, they got it up quick and they got it locked and loaded really quickly too.
That's a very good case that it was in waterproof.
What brand bazooka do you think that was?
Bazooka Joe.
Bazooka Joe.
I think they also make bazookas. Otherwise,
Joe.
yeah, they're not just for gum anymore.
Well, that's great, Billy. Other moments that you had.
Yeah, I really hijacked that.
There are only two more. There was a scene during the reveal when Ripner gets like the little tiny like water cup, and he just like super quickly just like holds it over to Rachel McAdams. She doesn't do anything, and he just brings it back, cracks it, and starts drinking.
My dad started laughing at that.
That was real funny to me.
I would have not taken a pill from him.
No, neither would I.
I would have not taken a pill from him. Like, after all that, you're seriously going to take some random pills that you believe are aspirin from this man?
This psycho.
I probably would have. I honestly didn't think. I didn't think until now that he could have put some type of pill that wasn't that in that cup.
Just thought of a question involving pills. Red or blue pill? Red pill. You shoot the bazooka. Blue pill. You're Ripner in the situation. Which one are you taking?
So I can fire, or I can just I can just be the middleman, basically.
Exactly. Which one are you choosing? Red or blue pill?
Which one is
red was bazooka.
Oh, blue.
You're taking blue.
I'm taking the blue chew.
I'm taking red. Because
Yeah.
those guys got away pretty
Yeah, I'm
quick.
thinking red.
I'd rather
There's
fire some
multiple.
heavy ordnance than have a pen in my
Yeah, I'd probably take red because
And I get to shoot a bazooka. That'd be pretty fun.
nothing happened to them after. They were not questioned.
Although, what happened the next day?
You never know. They either ended up like
What if that whole syndicate was taken down?
They either ended up like BMW Bro, or they just like went on with their lives and started. I don't know.
They're like a couple of suburban dads that were trying to make some extra coin.
Yeah.
Dabbling in terrorism.
Yeah. How much do you think they got paid each? There had to be like
they
six
got
guys
a
on
There
that
were a
boat.
lot of people on that boat.
Yeah, there's like 6-7 guys.
I'm thinking 6 figures. That's
Really?
that's a high risk job,
each.
and possibly a $19 Fortnite card.
Probably a lot of
Travis
money
Scott
on this.
McNugget meal?
This dude's probably got a high bounty.
Yeah, it's like DHS secretary.
Yeah, it's Charles Keefe.
Yeah, come on, no. All right.
Can't be
All
like
right, Ed Harris. I had Lisa's dad.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best.
I feel like that's the most fitting for Ed.
I went as
Like realistically.
Secretary Keefe.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I can see,
I could see that too.
Yeah,
I did have Deputy Security, Homeland Security, Charles Keefe, but I also had Mr. Keefe's bodyguard.
I was thinking, right when he said that, I was thinking, could he have been like the head of his security?
Yeah, head security.
No nonsense.
Bodyguard 1. Not like Bodyguard 3, because he's a little
I'm
bit
thinking maybe I doubt this would be a character, but whoever I feel like Bodyguard 1, if he was Ed Harris, would have like a name and he's like in charge of the rest of them.
So who would be Bodyguard 2 and 3? Like if it was Ed Harris as Bodyguard 1?
Probably still just some randos.
You think so?
Because you don't want anyone to outshine Ed.
Yeah, true.
Not that they can.
Yeah, that's true. No one that can even be, like people who are clearly in his employ.
If he was like the head of security, I don't think this is even happening. He's probably just like, we're gonna get another hotel.
He is catching on to every terrorist threat 5 months before it's even thought of.
If our confirmed room was changed within the past 6 hours.
If I was security, I would have checked on the room to make sure there was a plumbing problem.
Mhm.
That would sound a little fishy to me.
And honestly, like I feel like we should add a new category: who could Arnold Schwarzenegger play?
Ooh.
I have no fucking idea.
he would just
Lisa Reiser.
Yeah, Lisa Reiser.
He's
I was
just
gonna go with
Arnold
that too.
Schwarzenegger though, so like if he's in the movie, I feel like he'd just be like, oh,
Yeah.
and he
That's
would
all right.
play
He plays
himself.
the same
He would just-
guy,
yeah.
Yeah. Who could Carl
But,
Weathers
Like
have played?
who
but
can
you also
play
see-
Arnold Schwarzenegger? Nobody.
He's
Maybe the guy
he's
that
a
played the
unicorn.
bazooka.
Maybe bazooka.
Just have him in for like a few seconds.
Could Carl Weathers have been Secretary Keefe?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that'd be sick.
No, because no one would try to kill him.
Yeah.
Except Ivan Drago. And inadvertently
And
Happy
the Soviet
Gilmore.
Union.
Yes.
Although that's more damn alligators' fault.
R.I.P.
You know, Rip Chubbs. Any closing thoughts on Red Eye? This was
Great
an
movie.
interesting episode.
I thought it was interesting that girl wore combat boots. That's it. Are we all getting matching combat boots?
Okay.
Who was wearing combat boots?
Girl at the airport, old lady.
Oh yeah. She's like, I'm wearing my combat boots.
Yeah, I really only had 3 side notes. Just Mr. and Mrs. Taylor. Mr. and Mrs. Taylor are assholes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
Anyone who's worked in customer service, they get it.
obviously dumb bitch who spilled her mocha, and then just bring back headbutting.
Yeah.
Mrs.
Larry.
Larry.
What's
What's
that?
the guy's name?
We went 1 for 3, correct?
Red Eye.
Yeah, we got
We got
Okay,
Red
taking
Eye.
the Red Eye.
Twice, I think.
But Cillian does say you're gambling with your father's life. I know it doesn't count, but I thought about it.
Well, I'll give a nod to it, but
Yeah.
I won't officially
Okay.
count.
Yeah, I like it.
Under the table, handshake.
All right. We want to spin?
Respect.
Where do we watch this, Jack?
Oh yeah. Thank you, Pat.
Obviously, I mean, I went with the usual Goku.sx. It was giving me trouble at first. It usually says could not play media file.
Dude, I was having a terrible time
Had to
today.
close about like 13 tabs.
Yeah.
You know,
I would have let you my 4K.
I know, but I watched it today. So.
Yeah. Goku. How about you guys? What do you guys watching?
4K UHD Blu-ray.
David's Goku. I'm Goku. Phil's
Hulu.
Hulu. Nice.
I watched this on Apollo.
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 Okay. Yeah.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Hell
All
yeah.
right.
All right. Let's spin
Do it.
this wheel. Spin the head wheel. Me too. What do we got?
Oh no!
It's coming.
Who?
Yeah, it is. Billy, you're the only one that's seen
This
this.
is a great movie. You guys are gonna love
I
this.
have not seen
You guys are going to love this one.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to talk.
All right, who next week? 2006
Oh,
kids book adaptation.
I
What's up?
just want to say that we're on YouTube too now.
We're on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Podbean, Apple
Apple
Podcasts,
Podcast. We have Instagram.
at
X.
Nice Guys Filmcast.
X is the same thing at the Nice Guys FC.
As stated in the intro as well.
Yeah, we in our welcome message.
Our welcome message states
Which
that
is
what we're
uploaded
on,
everywhere,
but now
too,
we're
yeah.
also on YouTube. Everything
And
else.
yes, YouTube has video.
Great.
So, all right.
All right, next week, who?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.